This video is for anybody who I would feel like could be a little sister or my daughter, a cousin, a niece, anything of that sort. That's a female. Best friend, anything. Pretty privilege and youth only last but so long. Again, pretty privilege and youth only last but so long. There's been a concept that has been strung along certain communities that pretty privilege and youth can last forever. And that's a fallacy. That's a lie. It's not true. See, the way God and the universe works with pretty privilege and youth is you're supposed to utilize that when it's at its peak for the best investment possible. Meaning the best person who's going to be able to take care of you, provide for you, protect you when you no longer have that pretty privilege and youth to be able to move you along in society. That's why you see so many women who are older who no longer have that provision or no longer have that protection or looking for that protection and looking for that provision, who might have had those opportunities when they were younger, but they didn't utilize those advantages. They misuse those advantages. So now you become stuck or lonely or settling. And you have to believe when people say they don't settle, you are settling. The reason why I say that is because you say you're not settling with a certain person, but you're settling with a certain lifestyle because you're settling with being single. You're settling with being alone. You're settling with just having cats and dogs as your companion. So you are settling. It's just not settling in the way that we say settling. When we say settling, it's settling for the person that you deem is not up to your standards or your level. But you are settling. You're settling for a lifestyle. You're settling being alone because deep down inside, in your hearts of hearts, in the middle of the night, when you're talking to yourself and you're talking to God, and you ask him to send you that man, that means you're not in the position that you want to be in. This video is not to down talk, it's to bring up, to uplift. So hopefully an ear can hear this and change their ways and hopefully bring in and utilize, what they have or have left to be able to have a better life. That's what this is about. Again, pretty privilege and youth only last for so long. You have that pretty privilege and youth, so when you in high school, college, or you in your young 20s, you come across that male who's not yet there in life. See, that's why they say men mature and we reach our peak later in life. And it's an intersection that crosses. The woman is already at her high and the man is upcoming. So you have to recognize the intrinsic values in a person, not the outer. So when you're paying attention to these intrinsic values, now you know where to invest your long-term coins, you see, not just short-term fun. But I see a lot of people misusing their pretty privilege and misusing their youth for short-term fun and not investing it in the long term. It's like you have $1 million right now and you spending $100,000 a day. It's going to be gone quick versus you investing it for the long term and you only spending $1 now. And you saving the rest of that for the long term. That's where investing your coins, investing your chips, investing your resources, investing your beauty, investing your talent, investing your youth into somebody who's going to be able to meet you when you're at your decline, when society no longer deems you youthful or beautiful or pretty privileged or anything of that sort, when society no longer deems you those advantages in life. Now you have something to fall back on because you made those certain investments in that person or in that lifestyle that will grant you these certain things to be able to outlasts pretty privilege and youth. That's the way God made it. That's the way God made it. Straight up. Straight up. Why do you see people who get married in college or right after high school and all that, and it works? She's not tripping when she gets older. She's quiet. She's chilling. She's in the crib. She's chilling. She had a family. She's chilling. She's doing whatever, God has instructed her to do. And this ain't no religious talk. It's just me talking. She made her proper investments. But the ones who abuse their pretty privilege, going from this guy, or this situation, taking advantage of the pretty privilege, taking advantage of the youth, and not being wise with it, guess what? They're struggling right now. You can have all the money in the bank, driving the Benz, the nice bags, the nice shoes, the nice this, the nice that. I'm telling you, baby, you're struggling. Because deep down inside in your hearts of hearts, that ain't what you really want. It make you happy. It comforts you, But deep down inside, what do you really want? You settling. And we done settled for so long. You done settled for so long, or you done gaslighted yourself for so long that you not settling like this is what you want. But deep down inside, what was that little girl before she got hurt? Or before she became a feminist? Or before she listened to all these podcasts and YouTube people and all that? Who was that little girl before that? Who was that little girl? The one that wanted the Cinderella story. The one that wanted the house and the family and all this. That's what you really are. That's what you really want. Before you was tarnished. Before you was tainted. I'm just keeping it real. This your favorite cousin. I'm just keeping it real, dog. Like I said, this is what I would tell my daughter. This is what I tell my niece, my little cousins, my best friend that might be a female. This is what I would tell them straight up. I'm not saying don't go and have your fun, but when your fun outlasts you making provisions for your long term, you fucking up. You fucking up. Attention will be the end of a lot of people. The attention will be a downfall. Like crack and heroin. Attention. We need to go ahead and add attention into that. Just straight up. I'm telling you, pretty privilege and youth only lasts but so long. And when that well runs dry, you're going to wish you had made your proper investments. You're going to wish you didn't treat that good guy wrong. You're going to wish you didn't go out so many nights making bad investments. You know what I'm talking about. You're going to wish. I'm just keeping it real, dog. So don't let that get to your head, that pretty privilege and youth and all this will last you for so long. I mean, last you for forever. And you can just do this and do that, do this and do that, get away with nothing. Get away with everything, have no accountability and all that. Don't let these things fool you because they're selling you a lie. They're selling you a big old lie. A big old lie. It ain't going to end you nowhere but hurt. Hey, you've been trying and listening to other things and where it got you. Anyway, like I said, I'm just keeping it real. It's your favorite cousin, Rich. Y'all be safe out there. Love and blessings.